Life is hard.
Life is hard.
At least I have all my limbs and my donger. Praise Jesus for those things.
Praise Jesus for your donger.
Yep.
Your donger. Alright, so welcome to Geek Envy podcast episode number 33. We have to apologize because we've been gone for a month. We've had natural disasters in which Joey brought upon him. We've had sick family members, we've been traveling, we've just had a whole run of different things. But we are back, and we are here in full force with the two greatest members on the team, aside from myself. We've got...
No, you got it right.
Yeah. We've got Joey and Matt. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Up?
Hey. So we are just going to skip straight into some news for you guys, try to catch up on all the things we've missed, and really just what's happening, because we are right now in the midst of some pretty awesome things that are going on. I think we're just going to skip through kind of a lot of the releases, because being gone for a month, I think most of everyone has picked up most of the things we would talk about anyway. But the major things that are dropping, at least between the time this podcast is out and by the time you guys listen to it, is some of the stuff that fell on September 18th, which was yesterday. We were recording on the 19th. Labyrinth of Refrain for PS4 and Switch. Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, which includes about 7 or 8 original Capcom games with online connectivity, which is pretty awesome. And Undertale for the Switch.
That Labyrinth of Refrain game, I tried the demo for that.
Yeah, I tried it too.
It's sucky.
I wasn't too into it. I actually was more drawn in by the other
Which
dungeon
one was
crawler
that?
came out.
Oh,
Child
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
something.
That was a long time ago, though.
Like, that one is like super crappy and super low budget, but I feel like I was
Did you
more
try the
interested
demo,
in
Eric?
at the beginning.
No, I didn't. Although I was pretty interested in seeing the Omega Labyrinth Collector's Edition that could have been.
Oh, yeah. I
I don't know if you guys saw that. They pretty much announced like all the extras that were in the special edition, and I think you could buy them separately, just no game, since it never got released here.
That's fine. I mean, I think the game is kind of a mediocre mediocre roguelike anyway, so...
Alright, so September 25th, which is next Tuesday, right? Punchline for PS4 and Vita. Of course, the Vita is still going strong. Metal Max Xeno for PS4. And the one thing that I think we're all waiting for, at least Matt and I don't know if Joey even cares about this, Valkyria Chronicles 4.
For my tank.
Yes, and because of you, I pre-ordered the damn tank.
Oh, man.
I want that tank.
Yeah, no, I was like, I have to. At this point, with the DLC that comes in the collector's edition, kind of like right? You buy it now, you get it in advance. The art book I really loved because I was, for Valkyria Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, I don't know if you know, Sega did like their archive art books that they do. I'm guessing.
No, but go on.
So
I'm with you.
Sega, for each one of their games, the Xenosaga series, I think for the Phantasy Star, in Japan they released what they call these Sega archives, and it's a pretty thick art book, but also kind of a encyclopedia of sorts to a lot of what happens in the games. The kind of like what do they call those things? Like the pre-production sketches, and you guys are killing me.
Like
like storyboards?
Yeah, like concept art. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Storyboards, concept art, final drawings, and I have the Valkyria Chronicles 1 book. I don't have 2 and 3, but with this game I wanted the art book that came with it, and of course the tank. I wish we got a steel book. That would have been like the cherry on the top.
I'm fine with just the tank.
Yeah, the tank. No tank for you, Joey? Come on, you know you want the tank. you've got like 4 days.
Nah, I don't need any more things at the moment.
You say that now until the next
thing that I really want.
Till the next singing friggin' game comes out.
Yeah, it's the next like Hatsune Miku theme thing comes out.
They always,
he's like,
I
they
need
always
this
give shit
and all the
collector's
figures.
editions, or like they don't really do any limited for those.
You're like 1/4 size bust. I'm gonna buy it. $500.
I'd probably do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Joey would
if it's
definitely
1/4 scale. Yeah,
yeah, 1/4 scale Hatsune Miku bust.
that's a deal for 500. Maybe.
I don't know.
Scale,
I don't even.
probably.
But yeah, so those are the major releases that are happening within what's this week and next week. I think
And
that
don't sleep on Metal Max Xeno. It's supposed to be pretty good.
I feel like it didn't it get a Vita release in Japan and then it didn't get one here in the US and the West or whatever.
Wait, when does that come out, Metal Max?
25th.
25th.
Crap, I kind of want that.
Right in the list, man.
Yeah, you weren't listening, man.
And don't sleep on Punchline. If the main character sees panties twice,
Oh, jeez.
the world gets destroyed.
I'm not even going to inquire into that. We're going to let that one be. But yes. So, a couple of special topic things too that we're going to run through because, like I said, some major things that are happening right now. First off, Tokyo Game Show is ongoing currently. I think it started last weekend, running through this week. So your general run of trailers, announcements, nothing too special as of right now. I mean, maybe they'll save it for later on. Anything you guys have heard? Yeah, that's a big no. All right.
There was another Kingdom Hearts trailer. Did anybody watch that? I didn't watch it because I have to play the first two games.
Yeah, I haven't watched much just because, like, I know what the trailer's going to look like.
It's going to be one confusing jumble
It's
of
going to be Kingdom Hearts.
of a
Like, I'll
mess.
buy it and I'll play it.
But the messed up thing too is that Kingdom Hearts had like, what was it, 2007 the first game came out. It's like, all right, cool. 2009,
No,
10.
It didn't come out in 2007. Was it before that? It had to be before that.
Oh well, either way, then it was like 10.
Because it came out when I was in high school. And I graduated
okay,
before
date's not
2007.
important.
Yeah, dates not. What I'm trying to say is that you had like
2000X.
you had like kind of back to back. You had like a 2-year gap between 1 and 2, and then you have a friggin' 10 to 15 year gap between 2 and 3 with all the
That's
other
because-
shit ones in between.
Tetsuya Nomura is like cancer for games, man. He can't finish games. He can't do it.
Either way, I feel like Kingdom Hearts has become a
he's ruining
convoluted.
Square Enix. He's ruining Square Enix single-handedly. That man. They need to just boot him and just have him just like design some characters. That's all he's got to do.
Well, one other interesting thing that came out of Tokyo Game Show as of right now is the Sony PS1 Classic, or the Sony PS1 Mini, whatever you want to call it. So you have a 33% size, was it right? 33% of the size of a normal PS1, and 20 preloaded games for $99.99 with the original PS1 controller, so no dual analog sticks.
That's a weird choice.
I think they went for the full retro feel. Like, you are getting a
retro.
PS1 Classic, you're going to get the crap PS1 controller.
Yeah, but there's games on there that I feel like didn't Final Fantasy VII support analog sticks?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, but you don't need them.
But I played with them.
I mean,
Like,
well,
I never had a PS1 with, like, I got it once the analog sticks came out.
okay.
because the thing is, even Resident Evil, I think Resident Evil 1 or 2 had a re-release that had like dual stick controls, and that was like a big selling point.
Isn't it just the standard controller connection, or is it a smaller?
Since,
It looks like it's standard.
well, since the size of the PS Mini is 33% the size of a normal one, I would think it's smaller, but it's still wired. That was another weird selling point. That it was the original PS1 controller still wired.
This whole thing is stupid, and
I say
stupid. It's stupidly priced.
yeah.
It's like $100 too much.
Well,
And
how much did the Nintendo sell for, the Nintendo Mini or the Nintendo Classic?
60.
And then the SNES
was like 80.
I mean, I guess
And honestly, like I feel like 80 is the top of that budget, and the SNES kind of had more nostalgia going for it.
well,
Like, those games still look great.
the PS1
PlayStation
is
games do
including
not
Final
look great.
Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
It's not. Yeah. Okay.
but you can get Final Fantasy 7 on every
On
single
everything.
platform,
Yeah.
including Switch. That's a new announcement too.
Is it?
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
Final
they're
Fantasy
putting-
games
yeah.
are going on Switch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, coming out
I
of
forgot
Tokyo
to
Game
cover
Show
that.
was also that. But hold on, I don't want to leave this Sony PS1 Mini yet. The reason why I'm saying is that I say give it a month, and it's going to end up like the NES Classic and the SNES, in which we're going to get a nice boot ROM hack.
Yeah, that's still nice, but I mean, meh. Like, one of the other issues is that the PlayStation 1 already had a mini, and it can take any disc
True.
that you want. So what?
I mean, I guess it's for people who didn't find all the discs, or who don't want to go around collecting discs and memory cards. And I mean, you're right though. I have a PlayStation TV, a PS TV that I can load up with PS1, PSP, and PS Vita games, and have that as my full collection of everything, and have it set to my TV. So why do I need to go out and buy a PS1 Mini?
Yeah, and you're probably not. And I don't know. People are excited about this, and I'm like, why? But granted, I wasn't super excited about the
At the
other
same time, like a lot of
minis.
gamers, like were born after 2000
True.
these days.
These
A lot of
days.
gamers were born before 2000.
Yeah, but maybe since we experienced it, like, and we've replayed those games so many times, it's less exciting. Like the SNES Classic was only exciting to me because I never had one as a kid.
Yeah, and the SNES has good games. I booted up NES games earlier, which we'll get into this topic later. NES games were pretty shit.
Yes,
So
except for Dr. Mario.
and a lot of
so
PlayStation
good.
1 games, kind of the same. Like they're all getting used to.
That's the thing. Like, who wants to play like a
Frogger.
racing game?
Ridge,
or, like
Ridge Racer. Come on, man.
it's like a cardboard box with wheels, like scrolling around it
Yeah,
with
a lot
like a
of
bunch of seams.
PlayStation 1 games weren't amazing either.
There were a couple really good ones. If it has Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, Final
I-
Fantasy VII.
Well, we don't know, right? They only announced 5 out of the 20 games.
Well, Final Fantasy VII and Wild Arms, that's a little bit tempting, I'll be honest.
Tekken. It was Final Fantasy VII, Wild Arms, Tekken, Ridge Racer.
I feel like I didn't get into Tekken until PS2. Like, Tekken Tag Tournament was like Tekken for me.
I'm pretty sure you could buy all these games you want on your PlayStation 3 or your Vita and still save.
You could get all
Yeah,
these on the PSP.
money.
Yeah, that too.
And you could play with the joystick like you want to.
Yes. Well,
Unless you're on PSP, then you got that slidey thing.
Well, don't play on
so going on to Matt's point, one of the things that did come out of Tokyo Game Show 2 was that all the Final Fantasy games, 7, 8, 9...
No, not 8.
Yep,
Not
yep.
8.
Sorry, I forgot for some reason. We are still skipping 8. So
8 hasn't been remastered yet, so I guess they just left it out.
well, neither has 9.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, it has.
When?
It's on
PS4.
cell phones, and it's on PS4.
Yeah. Okay. So
And it's on Steam. All of them have had a re-release except for 8.
But why even wait for 8? Okay, hold on. Let me go through this list. So 7, 9, 10, 10-2, 12, Kokobo Mystery Dungeon,
Which is a good game.
Crystal Chronicles, which was the GameCube game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could honestly do without that, but
No, that one's good too.
And that,
I mean, it's cool.
that's it, right? So 7, 10, 10-2, 9.
And Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition got
Oh,
boosted
yes.
everywhere too.
Which is still a question mark over my head on why they would even release Pocket Edition for PS4 and Xbox. But okay.
Yeah, like half the reason you play that game is because you want to see some like pretty boys, like hair, like flowing in the wind.
I mean, if I'm buying if I have a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One Elite, which is supposed to have like super processing power compared to the standard versions of the
Super
consoles,
hair power.
I would want to see that flowing hair and rosy cheeks, whatever the case is.
Eric's into guys with rosy cheeks.
Yeah. Noctis, come on.
Does he have rosy cheeks? I feel like he's just like super pale.
He's pretty boy.
Like
He's
some
pretty
like
boy.
goth emo kid.
He's like Squall reimagined.
No, I don't think anyone's gonna beat Squall.
Squall was my hero as a kid.
Whatever.
Anyway, so those are the Final Fantasy games that are coming to the Switch, PS4. Well, mostly to the Switch, right?
Yeah, PS4's already got them all.
I'm actually just mostly excited for 12. Too bad we'll have to wait to 2019 for a lot of these games.
Yeah, I agree. Like 12 is the one I always keep trying to restart to play, and I feel like if it's handheld, I might actually because I like it. It's good.
So do I.
It's kind of slow.
I even bought
Like-
the remaster for PS4, and I never got to sit down and play it.
I played it for a while, but there's so many things to do on the side, and there's so many hunts and stuff that I always get sidetracked and then burn out. So I feel like if it's handheld, it'll be a good pick up and play here and there game.
And lastly, transitioning from the Nintendo Switch and all the PlayStation Final Fantasy games that we're getting, Nintendo Switch Online has officially launched. We
You guys get it?
still have kind of very vague on what it does.
Yeah, I got it, and I'm like, okay.
I
What
got it
do I
too, and
do
then I'm
now?
well, no, I played Dr. Mario on the NES thing. I downloaded the NES game.
I played tennis, and I was like, this sucks so much.
So wait. So with the Nintendo Switch being released, the Switch system has a 6.0.0 update that you have to update to, which means that you can no longer delist, I guess, your Switch. It's going to be tied to your username for Nintendo. And yeah, some of the cloud saves don't work for all the games.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
nice. It also updated the controllers. Did you notice that?
Although I still don't know what the controller updates do.
Yeah, it was cool, though. I was like, oh, damn.
You know your Pro controller too. If you have one, connect it. You can update it.
Oh, nice. Maybe it's makes it more battery efficient.
Or maybe gyro, or maybe who knows.
Yeah.
Or maybe now they can record your button presses
Or
and
that.
use our data to take over our bodies.
I mean, aside from having the Switch Online, the only other part to the update was some more character avatars. I think for Toad.
Oh,
And
no. No.
Well, because Captain Toad Tracker, right, or whatever the game was called. But no, I haven't actually paid for the online yet. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's super cheap. Don't get me wrong. $20 for the year is ridiculous. But now it's
I bought it because I figure if I ever want to play a game with you guys or something in the next year, I don't want to have to go through all the steps of buying it.
But once you buy it, obviously, it's going to be useful for your cloud saves.
well.
Once you buy
Well,
it,
will it?
you're stuck.
Well,
Cloud saves are only going to be useful if you buy a new Switch or your Switch dies. So it's just peace of mind.
Yeah, I mean, but you have a battery that's not going to last forever on
Well,
the Switch.
here's the thing with the Switch Online cloud saves. They only stay on as long as your service subscription is
that's
active.
And that was what I was going towards. Once you bought this and you start using cloud saves, you're kind of stuck buying this forever, unless you want to lose those cloud saves.
But once it's done, you lose them. It's not like PlayStation that stays for 6 months after. It's the minute it lapses, you're done.
That's a terrible. That's a bad idea. It's a terrible thing to do. What if they have a glitch somewhere in the system that accidentally cancels your online service, and it triggers the deletion of your cloud saves, but it's in error, and so you put in a bug to Nintendo saying, listen, you canceled my online service even though I've paid for the year, and they're like, oh shit, you're right, we'll restore it. Oh shit, we deleted all your cloud saves. Oops.
Well, yeah.
It's really bad practice.
Just don't delete saves off your Switch that you don't want to lose. Like, just archive everything. It deletes the whole game and keeps your save data.
That's smart.
Because you know how when you delete, it gives you the option to archive or delete fully?
I haven't deleted anything, so there we go. You've given us some news.
So if you ever
desire in the system is just to use it, and if I need to store something, I'll store the save in the cloud, or there's an option for it to do that automatically for me.
There is, but you have to
delete it.
You have to go back, and it doesn't auto do it for you. You have to manually upload all your saves and then click auto to make sure it updates. But also, where I was saying with some games it doesn't work is like Splatoon 2. There is no save data save for that. It doesn't work. I think
this is like the most Nintendo thing that's ever happened.
They're not really ready for this.
They're never ready.
They're not.
They just like make decisions and see if it works. That's how the Wii U came to be.
And that's how the Wii U came to not be.
Do either of you guys have either of you guys created a Japanese account?
No.
No, not yet. So but apparently you can get the Famicom games too, right?
Yeah, which is pretty neat.
Is it the same set of games, just in Japanese?
No, it's probably slightly different, because I think it used like whatever was popular in each country.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean that's pretty much it. That's the basis of all our special topics and news. So you guys tell me, what have you been playing or doing in the past month that we've been absent? We haven't tended to our podcast or anyone who actually listens.
I honestly haven't played that many games recently.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Joey is a hurricane magnet.
Well, also, I've been building a lot of these gun.
Hey, that's doing something. We don't always have to be playing things. We could always be building. We could be doing. We could be talking.
I built like 3 in the last week.
Did you try the overcoat stuff?
No, because it's been too humid. I've been waiting for it to stop raining. But I have a Mr. Super Clear Gloss and a Mr. Super Clear Flat, and I'm going to try each one.
Huh. Ooh. I think I started building, and I sent you the picture of one, was the MS-08 EZ8 team. Yeah.
Have you built any MGs?
No, I haven't built any master grades yet. I'm gonna.
You should. Your next one should be a master grade.
Well, then my next one's gonna be the Barbados. Which,
well, that's like the next step up.
Well, yeah, that's the transition from HG to master grade. But then I think I have a heavy arm that I'm gonna attempt.
A heavy arm master grade.
Yeah.
But
the
you know
thing I like a. Go ahead.
You know what's interesting about the Barbados is that I know it's in between HG and MG, but it doesn't really. The MGs don't really have the that internal skeleton.
No, like only the RGs do. To be honest, I kind of like it without the internal skeleton better.
Why?
I don't know. Just like the MGs I've built have been more fun builds than because I've built 3 of those full mechanics 100 set from Ironblood Orphans. And I was about to go crazy on the last one that I built, that one with the lance. Was it Gillies?
Yeah, Gallies,
yeah.
Galileo.
That one was like a panel lining nightmare. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's what I ran into on I forget which one I'm building. That was forever because he was just doing line after line after line.
I feel like the MGs that don't have that, since they don't have that internal exoskeleton, then you just clip all the armor on outside. The whole thing feels more solid. Like if I pick up one of those 100s, I feel like I might clip off a plate of armor pretty easily. But I mean, they're still super nice.
Okay.
And I think they're worth the money for sure.
I mean, because what a high grade is anywhere between 10, 15, $25, something like that.
Yeah, and the 100s run between 25 to 40, and then MGs start around 35 and go up to 80.
Yeah, I think the heavy arm one was 55 or 60 or something like that.
Yeah, I bought one for like it was like 65 or 70. The Exia one from 00. It has like LEDs inside of it,
Shit.
and it comes with LEDs. So that's why I bought it because I saw it at the store.
I know I sent you guys the text, but I was super excited that I got a God Hand nipper.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, the God Hand is a Japanese constructed nipper that they sell just in Japan. You can't get it anywhere
Don't
else.
call it a nipper.
But that's what it is. It's a nipper.
It's a sprue cutter.
No, but it's really called a nipper.
Okay.
But yes, okay. A sprue cutter, if I'm going to be politically correct, because they want to talk about nipples here. It's a one sharp side and one flat side, so it's supposed to give a extremely close cut without leaving any of that kind of like the
It's
plastic.
supposed to like not crush.
Yeah, it's not supposed to crush and give you that white look of like bent or crushed plastic. But it's also a pretty penny for a piece of
And what's
gun build.
What's like the longevity on that? Like how long until it goes dull?
You know, I don't know. I didn't actually look into kind of how long it stays sharp.
I assume it would last quite a while.
I
mean,
would-
You don't.
I would-
Sprue's not that abrasive, probably.
No, it's not a heavy plastic
Well,
at all.
So, I got a new X-Acto knife, a smaller one, because the one I have is kind of large. So I got like the smallest one. It's like a number 1 handle instead of a number 2. And I've built 3 models. And today I'm building this ball Gundam from MS 88. And I felt like I had to replace my blade. It's only like the 3rd one, but it felt like it wasn't cutting that great. So I replaced it, and now everything's like real smooth.
I found that too. I think in my kit for the tools, the initial blade on the X-Acto knife, I had to change almost with every build. I had to change into a new X-Acto knife
Maybe
blade.
it's just because they're razor blades. Maybe it's different.
Yeah,
They're probably really cheaply made.
that too.
I did buy them at Walmart. So
Joey, have you been doing anything aside from running away from hurricanes?
I ran far away to the land of Maryland, where Blackwells and I used to reside.
So quick fun fact: Joey used to live in Texas, which he ran into Harvey. Was it last year
Yep.
or 2 years ago? And then now we had Hurricane Florence, which he is in North Carolina, and
Yeah.
well, it's like it was supposed to hit North Carolina, and then it like kind of hit North Carolina.
Oh, it knocked the shit out of Wilmington, and
Yes,
then
that's true.
and kind of went south into South Carolina.
but it's
But yeah, I got the heck out. But before I left, I beat Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is now the middle Tomb Raider game in the modern Tomb Raider games. That game's pretty bad. I know I'm probably gonna get shit on from people who hear this and like all the Tomb Raider games, but this one's pretty bad.
Wait, the new one?
No, the middle one.
The middle one. Okay.
the middle games are usually bad. There's no way around it. I feel.
It looks good.
It does look good, but it's just so weird. And then everyone was buying Dragon Quest XI, so I had to go buy that.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm
haven't
like
played it.
25 hours in now.
Eric, did you get it?
No, I haven't played Dragon Quest XI.
It's probably the most solid, straightforward JRPG
It's very straightforward.
of recent times.
What system did it come out for?
PS4.
What? Yeah.
What do you mean? What? I mean,
Well,
like,
sorry.
if I haven't
I was
bought it,
like-
I haven't played it.
Sorry. We talked about it earlier, but Switch is getting it later. But Switch will get it also.
I think it came out on PC and PS4. Did it come out on Xbox One? I don't think so.
No. But yeah, Dragon Quest XI is really good. They did everything like high quality. Everything looks good. All the homes, that you're used to, searching bookcases and wardrobes, like everything just looks really fleshed out now.
One thing that's cool is when you go into the houses in like villages and stuff, you can just like go upstairs, go in the bedrooms. There might not be anything up there, but it's all like fully
Yeah, it's all
like
fully-
rendered, and it's they're unique and each one's a little bit different.
There'll be like sconces on the wall, and there's usually stuff up there, so it's kind of a game that makes you want to search everywhere. The animations for combat are really good. The enemies will like act a certain way. Like if you hit them with a critical hit, like their reaction is different than when you just hit them with a normal hit. And they have really good death reactions or death animations. So it's really good so far. It is very straightforward. And it's mostly like fantasy trope type stuff, but it's still really fun.
The music can get slightly grating.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about that a little. I've been playing on mute for the most part.
Like, it's not as bad as people say it is, but it is like the exact same songs that you know and have played 11 times. And the orchestral versions weren't allowed to come out of Japan by the composer. So we got the MIDI versions, which still sound... I mean, it sounds like video game music. Sounds good.
I don't think
it doesn't sound like a Super Nintendo or anything.
I don't think the orchestral ones would have helped that much.
Yeah, my complaint wasn't so much like the instruments that were playing it. It was more like, you guys need to make some new music for these games.
Yeah. And I also picked up Shadow of the Tomb Raider, especially when I was up hiding away from the hurricane. I was like, man, I really want to try out this game while I'm up here. And it's pretty good so far. It's typical Tomb Raider stuff, although they handed off the reins to I forget the team. It's not Crystal Dynamics anymore. They're working in collaboration with Crystal Dynamics, which I think just means they took all of the systems that Crystal Dynamics used and replicated them. The most jarring thing is, I don't know if you guys know Jonah, the character Jonah in the first and second game.
Not at all.
All right, Matt May. He's like the only guy that survives from the first game, other than the Asian woman who like channels the spirit of Himiko. But they changed his character design like pretty drastically, which is jarring. Laura looks a little bit different, but mostly the same. And writing has been alright so far. I feel like they kind of... this Tomb Raider stuff kind of did this thing where they kind of trapped themselves in like the storyline where it has to keep getting more epic each game, but it just kind of gets a little more ridiculous. So that's where they are. But yeah, Tomb Raider.
Sounds thrilling. Thrilling. So
what about you, Eric?
Yeah, I was going to say I myself. So I was traveling for about 2 weeks, and then I had family in for about a week and a half. So most of my time has been caught up in doing family-related stuff. In the kind of quick handheld time that I've had, I ran through some Gundam Breaker 3. I think we talked about it on our last attempt. Oh, that was one thing too. We had a podcast that was completely done, and audio was shit. So that's why we skipped a podcast.
Well, only one audio was shit. Yours and mine was pretty good.
Hey, I was trying not to single someone out. But the audio went out, and what I mentioned about Gundam Breaker 3 was that it was a fun run on the Vita. It was kind of I felt like a mix between a Monster Hunter and what was the other Gundam Breaker game, or the other Gundam game on the Vita? Extreme Verse. So it had that same kind of action, but there's a whole collection aspect to it. And the whole idea of Gundam Breaker, the games, is that you're supposed to be this great gunpla builder, and then you go to competitions and you build the greatest suit. It's stupid. It's really just a part of collecting and building the best, or your own like very unique Gundam. But that's it. I haven't really doing much else.
Cool. Yeah, I've been playing that game too. It's fun. It's fun to just like pick up and run through real quick. And actually, the story is kind of fun.
Is it? Because I find myself skipping through the story whenever I get to the actual story parts.
I kind of like it. If you watch the anime,
What Gundam Fighters or Build Fighters or whatever it's
Build
called?
Fighters, yeah, it's kind of similar to that. It's a similar type of world.
But that's it. So no more playing. At least I'm waiting till next week. I think that's the biggest thing for me is that I pulled my Switch out this morning to see if I wanted to update or not, and mess around with the Nintendo Switch Online or just get it ready for Valkyria Chronicles 4. I did play a little bit of Hollow Knight. The Gods in Glory DLC actually came out about a month ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago.
I don't think I'm going to be able to play Valkyria right away.
Why not?
He's like playing like 20 games right now.
I'm playing the second one, and I'm like 30 hours in, and I feel like I need to beat that first.
It's going to take another like 30 hours, I feel. You might as well
I'm in, I think I'm at the very end of September, and I think it only goes to December. So I'm more than halfway through.
I would say put it down. You're not going to lose anything. As much as I'm a Valkyria Chronicles fan, 2 being is like a true sequel, it's still one of the games that it's fun, and they expanded so much on the first game in terms of enemies, weapons, abilities, kind of like simplifying a lot of things. It's still just a game that the story doesn't do it justice. You could put it down and pick up.
Yeah, like the story's all
4.
right. Like I kind of like the characters, so that's true. Maybe I'll jump into it on Switch.
And of course, they had to have the traditional beach scene, which was fun.
In what?
Valkyria Chronicles 2.
They do.
You probably haven't gotten there yet.
Playing.
Nah,
Every anime has a beach scene, and so Valkyria Chronicles 1 had a beach scene. Valkyria Chronicles 2 has a beach scene.
You know what? I do remember it now. I have gotten to that part.
I played 3. I don't remember if it had a beach scene, but I'm almost expecting 4 to have one.
Play 3. I hear really good things about 3.
Well,
that's why I'm trying to beat 2. Maybe I should just play them all first.
I think you should finish 2. You put like 20 hours already.
I'll probably finish 2. I'm literally buying Valkyria Chronicles 4 for the tank. Otherwise, I'd probably wait and buy it once I was ready to play it.
You can pair the tank with like a Zaku. It's gonna be cool.
Put the Zaku on top of the tank. Hey,
I could do that. Wonder how big it's gonna be. I might have to get some HGs.
I thought the tank was fairly small.
I'll have to get HGs.
Sorry, I had to pull away from the mic to breathe. Chocolate rain. But no, that's it. Unless you guys want to bullshit around for a little bit.
I do want to mention that next week the golf. Wait, I forgot. Golf Story.
GALF golf.
Including golf, is getting its collector's edition via LRG.
Are you gonna get it, Joey?
Yes.
I don't know. It comes with a trophy and a golf poster. A golf poster and a little country club card. But it's also $80. So
what?
Yeah.
I was super. I had seen some of the posts on Twitter in which you got like the plaque for being like the golf champion, but not $80 worth. I don't know about that. Like, I want the game. I'm gonna do the open pre-order for a Switch physical copy, but I'm not gonna pay $80 for that collector's edition.
Yeah, I'm kind of trending away from CEs too. It's a lot of stuff to try to store.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I'm not getting the tank.
No, but the tank's a tank. I know Matt's about to say a tank's a tank.
It's not a working, functional tank.
Doesn't
I know,
matter.
I want it. I want it on my desk.
You bought the friggin' was it the last Guardian? You bought that collector's edition, didn't you? Which is a big diorama, pretty much.
Yeah, that's in the box still. Oh man, those were younger, less wise days.
Well, like I don't buy a lot of collector's editions anymore.
I'll let you have this one thing.
This is pretty rare
I'll let
for
you
me
have
to
that.
jump on a collector's edition.
You know, I
is.
almost gotta agree with Matt. I haven't bought a collector's edition in who knows how long. I think the last one was White East Origin because it was an LRG and it was fairly cheap for a collector's edition. But a lot of times it's what's in the collector's edition that I'm starting to look at. I'm like, okay, like Catherine, for example, you know, Love Is Over. The collector's edition was a pizza box with the pillowcase, a T-shirt, and boxers.
You're like, what the hell are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, I mean, I could dress up like the dude, and but
It's a cosplay kit right there.
but
Is
not.
that what you want to wear to cosplay?
It's not $100. It's not worth $100.
I'd wear it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's totally worth it.
No, it's not. No,
What do you think it's worth? I'll pay you.
I,
I'll pay you
I,
what it's worth.
I already sold it.
Oh, you idiot!
Joey would have bought it from you.
Probably not at the value I sold it for, but anyway,
Probably not.
whole nother story. But the that's what I mean. It's like collector's editions it's what's inside them nowadays. Like it.
There's no shit inside them nowadays.
Well, that's the argument. That's why I'm not buying them anymore. I mean,
But there's a tank in this one. This
well,
one does
that's
have
why I'm
something.
buying this one
What
because it
else
has
is
a
in-
tank.
What else is in that one except for the tank?
Art
I
book.
don't care. I'm buying it literally for
always
the
an
tank.
art book and a soundtrack. Maybe
Well, no.
some pins.
I won't even look at that stuff.
The
I'll
art.
just
The
pull
art.
the tank out, slap it on my desk, and feel good about
And then you'll
myself.
play the game like 5 years later.
The art book.
Probably.
I feel it's worth it for me. It's one of those things that the art book is not always worth it, but. I mean, look at a lot of NIS. A lot of NIS's special editions is like random bullshit, stickers.
Yeah, they're a dead company. They're dead to me.
I was like stickers, and he's like, "Fuck this company." Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like honestly, like what was the last Nice game that you've played?
I don't know.
you mean completed? I think is a better question for me.
No, I think for me,
I've
it's
never
even
completed
started.
a Nice game. But what's the last one that you have enjoyed?
Demon
on.
Gaze.
Okay, I'll give you that. But
No.
Demon Gaze 1, right? Not 2, because 2 I burnt out on. It wasn't as fun.
No, Demon Gaze 1.
Yeah.
Hold
I think that's the last, like, one I really sunk time into.
We're talking about NIS, right? Nipponichi, not
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Nipponichi. Let's see. games.
Danganronpa.
Is that...
No,
is that
I,
Nice?
that's not them, right? They only
That's
published
Nice,
it in the U.S., right?
Well, it's Spike Chunsoft
It's-
and Nisha.
Yeah.
So they published that. I wouldn't give that to. So they also published East 8.
Yeah, but...
And
Yeah.
did shitty on it.
That's a Falcom.
Yeah, so it's
they,
Falcoms.
They pretty much ruined that game and then tried to fix it.
So I'm looking at actual NIS games. I'm skipping a lot of stuff here.
I mean, there's no argument that
I mean,
Nisa kind of sucks now.
I'm telling you,
they've lived off Disgaea for
like the
forever.
Japanese RPG companies, other than like Square Enix and the really big ones, are like right now Atlas, Sega, Falcom. I'm missing one. The Tales guys.
Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, Bandai Namco is doing some alright stuff. But like Nice is just like they're just no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're living off of Disgaea, and now they're releasing Disgaea 1 complete for the Switch. Like
This guy is decent, but they're too dense.
That's
Anyway.
how Labyrinth of Refrain's going to be, by the way.
I think we're sidetracking, but yes, NIS has a lot of bullshit that they include in these games that aren't even worth a special edition. Who else? There's a few others that are floating around, like LRGs. I almost have to say a lot of whatever they're working with the companies.
They're just a publisher.
Yeah, but even as a publisher, whatever special editions that come out through them, I feel like it's not enough. for me to go out and buy that special edition.
Because they suck. Actually, those guys could probably find me and kill me. I probably shouldn't talk bad about them.
Well, even the Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition has a special edition, and it's a steelbook.
Yeah, it was lame. There's no way.
But they want $100 for it.
I'll just buy it on Switch. I might even buy it digitally.
It comes with a diorama. That's
Ew.
The box turns into a diorama. That's what your special edition is getting you.
If it came with a tank, maybe I'd buy it.
Well, if it came with a Repeat statue, I'd buy it.
Repeat is pretty nice. Of all the dogs, he's up there with what's the dog from Persona 3? Konomaru.
Yeah.
Ketchy? Wait, no.
No, I think it's Konomaru.
Koromaru, yeah.
Koromaru, that's it.
Wait, what did Ni no Kuni 2 special edition come with? At least the first one came with like a full book, a steel case, some other
Ni no Kuni
coin.
2 had like 5 collector's editions, and they all had like some crap. It was like a plushie.
It's got a plush, a diorama, a steelbook.
What's this
Soundtrack,
diorama thing? Like,
Blu-ray.
dioramas are what you make in like first grade.
Nah, man. Dioramas are classy now.
Like what's this trend?
I don't know. It's just like... I don't know. Because
it's shiny packaging with a bunch of frills that people are told that this is going to be great, and I almost feel deep down inside the depths of my heart that the Valkyria Chronicles 4 special edition might actually not sell out and be cheaper at a later point, but I don't want to risk not getting the tank.
Yeah, I don't want to risk it either. I think the last collector's edition that I bought at launch was the Majora's Mask for 3DS because it came with that Skull Kid.
Yeah.
And that thing is still on my desk, and it still looks awesome.
Well, but that also still retained value, I'm sure, because A, it's a Nintendo game, and B, The Legend of Zelda has a huge following, and you can
I don't
always
really care about value. Is everything okay? Did Eric just die?
No, I was trying to find an argument for value, but then I was like,
Like, value doesn't really matter because these days I'm only really buying stuff that I don't want to resell.
Okay. So stuff you will actually display, or...
Well, I mean, if I'm buying it like full price. If I'm buying a collector's edition, I'm not planning on selling it down the road. Because it's a pain in the butt. You gotta like get a giant box, and then it's like $20 to ship. It's the worst.
That's what Eric just did with Catherine. Love is over.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is, since they're remastering it and releasing it for the PS4 and Vita. If the PS Vita doesn't get a physical release, they'll do a PS4 special edition. I might as well just get that one when it comes out.
Speaking of which, something we didn't talk about.
What's that?
Residence of Fate is coming to PS4.
Oh, yes. An HD remaster of another PS3
I am super excited.
game.
That game is awesome. I actually started playing it again on my PS3 like 2 months ago, and then...
Wait.
I don't know. I got distracted.
So not only is this game, what was the other one? Infinite Undiscovery?
I like that game too. They like chained the moon. They like shot chains in the moon.
But the shitty...
And that was like what the bad guy did. He was like, "I'm gonna chain the moon." Chains the moon, and you're like fighting him.
So
awesome.
Square fucked up with that one because they only released the PS3 version in an HD remaster. They didn't release it the Steam computer version that had a bunch of like fixes and other stuff. But with Residence of Fate, it was such an under the radar, like I'm talking like few people played this game, and I actually bought it at launch on PS3 and I loved it.
I bought it at launch too. I remember I was working at Borders,
and I think only a few people actually learned about it by playing Project X Zone because those characters were included.
Right.
But it was super unique. The story was really off. Like it was out
It's awesome.
there.
Like the first guy that gives you quests in that game is named like Familiar Staffer. He like doesn't have a name. He's just called Familiar Staffer.
But it was great too because the guns that you got in the game were so customizable in terms of like abilities, like scopes, silencers, handles. It was
one thing about that game is if anyone buys this, you need to read the entire like text tutorial.
Oh,
like
yes.
it's not an actual tutorial. It's like all text. They just throw you in. They don't explain anything. And the battle system is actually like super weird and complicated. So you got to like read the whole thing.
Well,
if you do that,
no,
it's good.
It's actually the battle is very straightforward. Blue damage.
No, it's not.
Yes,
you
it
have
is.
you have to make your path where you're gonna go, and then jump at the right time, and then shoot, and then you do these flips in the air to shoot, and then if you do it in the right way and chain it with everyone to make a triangle, it does another special. Like it's stuff you wouldn't just figure out on your own.
No, but I'm telling you, once you
got to read it.
Once you get it, it's pretty much blue damage, red damage,
right?
Scratch,
but it's not intuitive, is what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't just like pick it up. Like if I picked up Dragon Quest and there was no tutorial, I'd be like, oh, I know what to do, and I would have no problem. This game, like, I would have no idea what's going on.
Well, anyway, it's a underrated gem, and super surprised it's even getting an HD remaster.
Man, I kind of hope they bring out Infinite Undiscovery too. That game was crazy.
I thought that
game starts out like you're like
wait,
you're
I thought that's what we said, Infinite Undiscovery, or was I thinking of a different 360 game that got
Residence of Fate is coming out. I was saying I hope Infinite Undiscovery does too.
No, I thought it was. That's what.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, was it Infinite Undiscovery or was it the other one? Hold on, there was a.
Look that up because I didn't know that. Like the best part, like Infinite Undiscovery, you start as this guy, and you're in prison, and like the first thing he does is he like flags down a guard, and he's like, "Hey guard, you got anything sweet to eat?"
Yeah,
that's like how it starts.
Infinite Undiscovery and The Last Remnant.
It was Last Remnant. It wasn't Infinite Undiscovery. Maybe there's one coming for Infinite Undiscovery, but it was Last Remnant that is getting an HD release.
I'm okay with that because that one actually I played a bunch of it on Steam and it runs really well on Steam.
That's what my argument was, that a lot of people
that's an alright game.
A lot of people are complaining that this HD release was the PS3 or Xbox 360 version and not the like Steam corrected version.
Well, the only problem with it was like performance, if I remember correctly.
You know what we do need though, that I would love to see an HD release of? Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, I mean, you can download it on your Xbox One and play it. Just get an Xbox One.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll do that one.
It still looks good, and you can play it on a next-gen console.
I mean, the argument is that the last two games we just talked about are still on the PS3 and playable, so I couldn't.
Yeah, but they're not playable
no, they're not.
Modern. They're not playable on a modern system.
Last Remnant's not really playable, other than on Steam. And Infinite Undiscovery's not either.
Alright, fine.
And also, neither is Last Remnant. You can't play it on the PS4. Or an Xbox One.
Okay.
You gotta like dust off your old console. Get that right on out. Feel how the DualShock 3 feels terrible now.
It doesn't feel too bad. It feels weird in your hands.
It feels strange.
But it's still
it's
still fine.
Like over time they get like sticky. They're like gummy.
You just
it's
have
like
weird hands.
They deteriorate over time. I have older controllers for tons of other systems that don't like feel like the plastic's deteriorating, but all of my DualShock 3s do.
Maybe you only have bootlegs.
How could I have had bootlegs? Like one of them originally came with the PS3.
The PS2 controllers do get kind of weird. I haven't noticed anything with the PS3.
Those ones do too. Actually, the PS2 controllers get even worse.
Yeah,
I will say that. Anyways,
all right, we're
at
an hour.
Wrap this up. Yeah.
All right, we've done enough talking about random stuff. But we still exist, and we can be found on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. So we would still love you guys to give us a listen, kind of share us about if you can. We're on Instagram, although we haven't really updated in a minute. I say blame that on the weather and our inability to do things correctly. At Geek,
we got a lot of stuff on there though.
Yeah, we've got stuff up there. So it's on Instagram at Geek Envy, and we are still hoping that you guys would like to reach out to us, whether it be by Instagram or by email at askgeekenvy@gmail.com, and just let us know what you guys think. So with that, we'll see you again in 2 weeks, and we will stick true to that. Bill?
Dios.